Congratulations to all Yale graduates, and especially the YSN graduates, and especially the acute care graduates of 2020. My name is Andy Solella. I am also a Yale graduate from the acute care program, and Dr. Laura Andrews asked me to say a few words to all of you, considering we're all held up in our homes and can't have a graduation. So, like I said, I graduated in 2015 with a degree for an acute care and gerontology nurse practitioner. At that time, I had no idea what I was doing or where I was going, but ended up as a hospitalist and have been working in that field for the last 5 years and enjoying every minute of it. In 2019, I suffered a seizure in the middle of the night, and I was brought to Yale New Haven Hospital and found a 4-centimeter brain tumor in my left temporal lobe. This is where the speech center is. And I then had an awake craniotomy by one of the doctors there. And during that time, I had to be sedated, but was still awake while they plunged scalpels into my brain. And I had to speak with one of the neurophysiologists there and to make sure that all those delicate nerve fibers in my brain were still working. So I'd have to answer questions and do this all while having the surgery performed. I did that very well, and during that I even had the opportunity to do a little singing. After that, I had a round of chemo and radiation. A couple weeks into that, however, I then developed even more seizures, had 3 grand mal seizures, and lost my ability to read, write, and speak. I went back to Yale, got hooked up to an EEG, and spent most of my time just struggling for words and using quite a bit of profanity, the only words I had. So slowly I regained some of that, and I was released, and then completed 6 weeks of chemo, 7 weeks of radiation, and then 6 months of chemotherapy on top of it. I get regular brain MRIs, and as of just a few weeks ago, my MRIs show almost complete remission from the disease and no discernible malignancy. So I am actually back to work as a hospitalist, and I currently work at Midstate Medical Center in Meriden, Connecticut. While I was at YSN, I certainly learned how to rise to different challenges. There was, the constructive criticism, analyzing data, and of course taking care of the sick and injured. But I think I built a very solid foundation at Yale that kept me moving forward and making sure that I had the best options possible. I'd like to thank, of course, Laura and Allison Cable, Marianne Sear, Marge Funk, and a number of other professors and administrators and staff that helped me along the way. Certainly I was challenged both professionally and personally. Yale has brought me a lot of highs and lows. It has given me a grad school education, this really neat $100,000 sweatshirt, but also tremendous lows and stumbling blocks, like going back there as a patient on the wrong side of the bed and receiving news that, unfortunately, sorry sir, you have brain cancer. While I was at Yale, I got involved with the Yale Institute of Sacred Music. I am a classically trained singer and sang with the Yale Camerata and continue to do so when there's not a pandemic going on. Special thanks to Professor Maggie Brooks, who is going on to retire this year. Dr. Andrews asked me to sing you a little song, and so I'd like to sing you something from a Victor Hugo poem, and this was arranged by a woman named Abby Batimus. She is a 3-time cancer survivor, and with the words from Victor Hugo sang or arranged this piece. The words of the poem go, be like the bird that, when pausing in her flight, on boughs too slight, feels them give way beneath her, and then sings, knowing she has wings. So I'll perform this for you now. Be like the bird that, pausing in her flight, a while on boughs too slight, feels them give way beneath her, then sings, knowing she hath wings. Be like the bird that, pausing in her flight, a while on boughs too slight, feels them give way beneath her, then sings, knowing she hath wings. So, like all of you, you are now like birds. You have migrated long distances together at Yale. You have made friends and grown, I'm sure, in ways that you never thought possible only a few years ago. My best advice from an alum standpoint, from a provider standpoint, and from also a patient standpoint is make sure that you treat your patients, and really everyone for that matter, like you were sitting in that hospital bed. Again, I'd like to thank Yale for, and especially YSN, for the springboard that allowed me to kind of jump on and find new experiences. I wish you all the best, and I know you all have a variety of different jobs, but the vocation that you all share will always be the same, and you will give the world better health for all people. So thank you very much, and congratulations, graduates.